A social media post recently went viral where a lady asked if she should order clothes from Shein because she didn't want her clothes to get held up in customs due to tariffs. The comments were all over the place. Some people said they had to pay taxes to get their clothes from Shein, and then other people were like, don't do fast fashion, don't do Shein. And of course, since it's social media, the comments were loud and wrong. So I am making this video to address the learning opportunity here. Yes, tariffs are making everything more expensive, but I am going to show you how to protect your money. So, what is a tariff? First things first, let's level set on that. Imagine you are eyeing a cute handbag. It's made in Italy because, well, obviously, like Italian leather, it's nice. The thing is, the US government wants to make things a bit more complicated for that Italian handbag. So they slap a tariff on it. Think of a tariff like a tax specifically for goods coming from another country. Now, why would they do this? The idea is that a tariff protects American businesses. The way the government thinks of it is if we make these Italian bags cost more, make them more expensive, then Americans will buy more domestic bags like that nice Telfar or that Brandon Blackwood bag that says end racism. And that would be great, right? It's supposed to boost our economy and create jobs here. But how does that affect you? So tariffs are on the Italian handbag, right? It makes that bag more expensive. So instead of it being $200, it's now $250 or more. That means that you, the consumer, ends up paying more for imported goods, which is wild, I know. But tariffs are actually very common as an economic practice. Like it's used globally to stimulate the domestic economy for that country. So in short, it's like tariffs can be a double-edged sword. The pro is that they protect the domestic industries and economies, in this case, the US American industries. The con, the downside, they lead to higher prices for the consumer. And sometimes other countries even retaliate with their own tariffs, which can hurt American businesses too. So picture it like that scene in The Office. I like the show The Office. That show is hilarious to me. Where they're all having a standoff and like all of them are standing there like, who's going to go first, right? Everyone is standing around, all the countries are standing around waiting to call each other's bluff and see who's going to pull out of a tariff first. And in the meantime, you, the consumer, suffer by paying more. What that means for us, even more so, women are savvy shoppers. We know how to stretch a dollar and find the best deals. And if you don't believe me, go look up that trending hashtag girl math to see all the ways women maximize each dollar they have. Tariffs make it harder to do that girl math because tariffs limits our choices and make it more difficult to find affordable quality products, especially if the brands and designers we like are based overseas. So, okay, if tariffs are so common, I know you're probably asking if tariffs are everywhere, if they're global, US, worldwide, whatever, they're an economic policy, why care about tariffs now? Why is it worse now? Well, Trump has a different approach. I don't know why y'all think Trump gonna do something the regular way. Like that's not his style at all. So Trump's approach to tariffs are making them more of a bargaining tool to force his policy and agendas. It's not as much focused on bolstering the American economy as it is bolstering what he has in mind. Trump's first term, I'm going to break this down for you on like what happened the first term and what's going on in the second term. Trump's first term tariffs initially affected about 380 billion with the B, $380 billion worth of imports, which is about 1.8%, like less than 2% of the American GDP at the time. That is according to Erica York, the vice president of federal tax policy at the Tax Foundation. Now, throughout 2018 and 2019, Trump put more taxes and tariffs around that put 10% to 25% tariffs on hundreds of billions of American products that were purchased in China. Or Chinese products that were purchased by Americans, including tech equipment and plastics. China responded in 2019 by placing 10% retaliatory tariffs. I told y'all, like, tariffs go back and forth, right? The standoff. So China said, okay, we're going to put a 10% retaliatory tariff on $75 billion worth of US imports. And to fully understand how reliant the US economy is on Chinese-made products, I want you to look within your home. Look at the bottom of your product. Look at the bottom and you'll see how many times it says that something is made in China. It is the clothes we use, the phones we have. It's our plates, our glassware, TVs, furniture. So probably one of these candles I got over here might be made in China. Like it's just the way things are, right? That was the first Trump term. This current term, in early February 2025, Trump initiated an expansive trade war, implementing sweeping tariffs across multiple countries and industries. This strategy marked a significant escalation from his first term, aiming to protect domestic industries and address trade imbalances. These new tariffs have led to immediate global retaliation. Canada retaliated with a 25% tariff against U.S. goods imported into Canada. They literally pulled U.S. products from the shelves and had a big push of buy Canadian. My Canadian friends told me Canadians can out petty any and everyone, and based on that tariff retaliation, I believe them. Trump realized he did not want that maple syrup smoke from our northern neighbor known as the Canada clapback queen, so Trump got quiet, look around, everybody on mute. Big energy. So Canada and the U.S. agreed to pause the tariffs for now because it was just, that little standoff. It was getting a little too much, too intense. Nonetheless, there are still other newly imposed tariffs that are expected to increase the cost of everyday goods. And the Tax Foundation estimates that'll add about $172 to the tax burden for U.S. households. So that means you as a consumer, $172, boom, that's on you. For example, staple items like avocados, and eggs are becoming more expensive. A 25% tariff on Mexican imports has significantly increased the price of avocados. And they say that, millennials, we love avocado toast. You can't buy a house, so we buy avocado toast. Meanwhile, there's a severe bird flu outbreak that has led to egg shortages and record high prices. These factors combined together are making everyday common breakfast foods seem like a luxury. So all of a sudden, avocado toast with a little scrambled egg on the side, a little fried egg, that's, caviar. Okay, that's upscale. I heard somebody said they're painting potatoes and rocks for Easter this year because there ain't gonna be no eggs. So according to a Business Insider article, furthermore, this is from Ford CEO Jim Farley. He said he has concerns about the tariffs too on the imports from Mexico and Canada. He warns of potential chaos. That's a strong word for a CEO to use, chaos. He warns about potential chaos and the increased costs that could be devastating the U.S. auto industry. In conclusion, I'm trying to end on a high note of at least telling you what you can do. So what should you do? Be a strategic spender. That means price comparison. So maybe you don't buy all your groceries from one store. It seems easy and nice and better to buy everything from one store, but maybe you just have to go around town and find the best option where you're at in the area. Buy in bulk because the unit cost of items is lower when you buy in bulk. So to the extent that you have the space to carry it home, you have the space inside your home to store it, buy things in bulk. As a pro tip, when you're buying eggs and avocados, you can freeze those items. I tried it, it works out. Also use coupons. I know it's old school. It's what our mamas and grandmamas used to do. Stick to it, it worked. Use coupons, find creative alternatives for overpriced items. All my vegans, it's a time for y'all to pop out because meat is about to be expensive. I need the vegans to pop out and say, here is the meat alternative that you can work with. And as always, subscribe to this channel. The button's down there. If you subscribe to this channel, you can continue to get legitimate and proven financial advice. With that, have the day that you voted for.